Good morning, students. Let us start the first chapter in the physics. That is, the chapter name is Light, Reflection and Refraction. In this chapter, mainly we are discussing about the certain phenomena exhibited by this light. Mainly, the two phenomena we have to discuss. One is the reflection process and the other one is refraction process. The first portion of this chapter discussing about the reflection of light. The first term is this light. The term is very familiar to you, but somebody asked how you can define this light, then what will be the answer? Light is an electromagnetic radiation which can be detected by the human eye or which can be sensed by human eye. Then next you will think about what is this electromagnetic radiation. It's very simple. That is, every object, almost all the objects, especially the hot object, even the hot earth surface can emit the energy. These objects can emit the energy, and that emitted energy is propagated from that body to the surrounding. It is propagated in the form of electromagnetic radiation. The arrangement of this electromagnetic radiation according to their wavelength or frequency is termed as electromagnetic spectrum. The visible light means it is a small portion of this particular electromagnetic radiation. So first we can consider what is meant by this reflection. Reflection of light means when the light rays falls on a smooth or shining surface such as a mirror or a polished surface or a steel surface, it bounces back. That particular phenomenon is known as reflection of light. When light falls on a smooth or shining surface, it bounces back. This phenomenon is known as reflection of light. The same very simple way, that is, when we throw a rubber ball to a wall, what happens? It will bounce back to us. The same way, the light rays when falls on a polished or smooth surface, then it bounces back. Moving to the next topic, that is, whenever a reflection process taking place, whatever may be the nature of that surface, that means whether it is a smooth or rough surface, if reflection is taking place from a particular surface, then these two conditions are always valid, and that particular two conditions are termed as laws of reflection. Mainly 2 points are the incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence always lies in the same plane. The second point is the angle of incidence is always equals to the angle of reflection. Angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. The light ray which falls to that particular surface is known as incident light ray, and the light ray which is bounced back after reflection is known as reflected light ray. And the normal line means that is the perpendicular line drawn to the mirror at the point where the light ray strikes the mirror. Lot of perpendicular lines we can draw to that particular mirror, but the normal at the point of incidence means that should be drawn at the point where the light ray strikes that particular mirror. So normal means it is a perpendicular line to that mirror at the point where the light ray strikes. And the angle of incidence. Angle of incidence means it is the angle formed between, or that angle which we can measure between the incident light ray and the normal line. That angle is known as angle of incidence. Then angle of reflection means Another angle you can see, that is the angle between reflected light ray and the normal, that is known as the angle of reflection. These two angles are always equals in a reflection process. Just we are mentioning the main two types of reflection, that is the regular reflection and irregular reflection, or regular and a diffused reflection. What is the difference in these two? The regular reflection means that regular reflection always taking place from a smooth surface or a plane surface or a planar surface. In this one, all the reflected light rays are parallel to each other. A parallel beam of light falls on a particular surface and it reflects back, and that reflected light rays must be parallel. Then that kind of reflection is known as a regular reflection. Whereas the irregular reflection or diffused reflection is taking place from a rough surface. In this one, when a parallel beam of light falls on this particular irregular surface, it bounces back, but that reflected light rays are not parallel. Incident rays are parallel, but after reflection, the light rays moves to different directions, not in a parallel way. Such a reflection is known as diffused reflection or irregular reflection. Whether a reflection is regular or irregular, no problem. The law of reflection is valid. After the reflection, sometimes the reflected light rays actually intersect at a particular point, or it seems to be intersect at a particular point. Depending upon these two situations, two types of images are formed. That is, if light rays after reflection actually meet at a particular point or intersected at a particular point, it provides a type of image that is termed as a real image. And another situation, that means the reflected light rays are seems to be intersected or just appears to be intersected at a particular point, then it provides a type of image termed as virtual image. And what is the difference between this real and virtual image? One major difference is already mentioned, that is, real images are always formed by the actual intersection of reflected light rays. During the refraction also, these images are formed, that we will discuss in the next section. So real images are formed by the actual intersection of reflected light rays, or whenever the reflected light rays meet at a particular point, it provides a real image. Whereas when the reflected light rays are only seems to be intersected or appears to be meet at a particular point, it provides a virtual image. Real images are always inverted in nature, that means upside down, whereas virtual images are always erect in nature, straightforward manner, just like in our plane mirror. Then real images can be obtained on a screen, that means where the point of intersection, if we can place a white screen there, that image can be obtained on that particular screen. Whereas the virtual images cannot be obtained on any other surface, it only seems to be behind that particular mirror, just in case of plane mirror. Next is about the image formed by a plane mirror, that is the mirror which we are using in the daily life situation. Image formed by a plane mirror is a virtual one, and that image formed by a plane mirror is always erect in nature. Another important property is the image formed by a plane mirror is laterally inverted. Lateral inversion means the left and right side of image and object are interchanged. Simply you can identify that one. Just stand in front of the plane mirror and raise your right hand, and you can see that your image will raise its left hand. That is the lateral inversion. And another one, the image formed by a plane mirror is the same size as that of the object. That means whatever may be the size of object placed in front of that one, the same sized image is formed behind the mirror. Then one more property we can define is the distance between object and mirror is equal to the distance between image and mirror. These are the basic characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror.